So we're back here on another Couch Coach Live. We're back here on the final live show of the year of 2021. What's going on, Maui?
Oh, I'm good, man. How you doing? You look nice over there, man.
I'm good, man. Yeah, I got
You
my
look.
from, from the Avenue,
Yeah. I got my from the avenue.
from the
You
Avenue
know,
merch,
right? We
from
always
the
gotta have
Avenue.
one of those. We always gotta have those iconic moments on
Yeah,
the Couch Coach Live show. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Now,
from
maybe
from
one day, B, we can go back and put some shows together so we really can let people know our foolishness that we done been
exactly. Yeah,
through.
some
you know.
clips. I know, right? If they look at our week, especially our week NFL picks, probably dating probably from
hmm
week 3 or week 4, we went straight
hmm
down, and every time,
hmm
I remember when Justin Herbert was coming to the Avenue.
Right, right,
Aaron
right,
Rodgers
right,
coming to the Avenue.
right,
A
right,
lot of
right,
guys came to
right,
the Avenue. Patrick Mahomes went to the Avenue and
right,
lost.
right,
So a lot of
right,
guys went to the
right,
Avenue.
right,
So
right, right. I remember, like, I was just talking to somebody when we went on Comcast TV those two times,
yeah.
and I was like, if you'd have seen Coach's face, because Coach was like, I don't know what I'm doing here, like, what's really going on? And then once you got past that first one, you was
Yeah.
definitely from the Avenue. You was ready, boy.
Yeah, I know, right? It take a little time. It was I ain't gonna front. That
right,
was a little bit of stage fright. Yeah, that was
right, right,
a new
right.
lane because at that time we really didn't. Well, because we did the lives, but
Uh huh.
like now what we do, we in front of the camera, so
Mm-hmm.
it's knowing how to look in front of a camera. Because remember they had
Right.
3 different camera angles. So back then, all we used to do was we just had the phone just having the
Right.
um panorama of just the whole studio, including like the Lexi
Right.
logo and all that. So all of it's there. You just hear
Right.
us talking. It's kind of versus we didn't look in the cameras. So that
Right.
so that was yeah. So yeah, that was like our really our first time
Right.
actually being in cameras
Right.
and being like that. That yeah, it could be
I
it was really daunting.
I really felt like it was perfect training. Like you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like if you ever was to do something, you really want to go to another level to go in there and you have a producer and it wasn't hard. Like it
mm-mm.
was hard, but and you get nervous because you got that big camera on you. But
Yeah,
honestly, if you have somebody backing you up, keeping you structured, good
yeah,
chemistry with somebody, decent, really good producer, and I felt the first guy he liked us and
yeah,
he made us comfortable. But yeah, man, we got
yeah,
so much history now, man.
yeah.
What's going
And
on? What 5 years?
5 years in September. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
August probably. I think it was August. Yeah. No, no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
No,
It
no,
was
we
like
started in
June.
June.
June,
Yeah, we
yeah, because
started in
that's
June or
right after
May. Right.
the NBA Finals. Yeah.
Right.
So that
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, that's
remember
when
that
you
now.
did your
Now I
show. Yeah, in
remember you.
September. Yeah.
Now I
Yep.
remember you. After the NBA finals.
Yep. It was during the NBA Finals. Yep. It was right. It was
right,
probably
right,
a little bit right after.
right,
That's yep. So yeah, and it was another thing too, like with it, because we was actually supposed I was supposed to do a Comcast show.
right,
I signed up for one. It was supposed to
right,
be, I remember 3/6/2018. But
right.
things happen.
And
I
then
in the job going on the road,
yeah,
so they kind of
yeah,
put a kibosh on it. So that was another one where that was going to be a really interesting how
right,
that would have happened. But like I say, some
right,
things just don't happen. It is what it
right.
is, and hey,
Look where you
but
at now. It's like you ain't even got
right,
to leave the house now. Now you could just
exactly.
from home, and you basically would have been doing the same thing. You
Yep.
know.
Yep. And right. And they ain't gotta go all the way out to the boulevard. to Arthur Ashe Boulevard and
right,
do my thing and be over
right,
there and in the Scott's edition, trying to
right.
find
Trying to
somewhere to
find a park.
park.
Try to
A,
find somewhere to park. Right,
a
right.
needle
That's
in the
exactly what I was about
haystack.
to say. Right,
Exactly. Yeah.
right,
But yeah, yeah. So yeah, we definitely putting a bow on this week, on this year. Very interesting year to say the least. A lot of
right,
things, but what we'll do, we'll just talk about our favorite moments of the year, some bold predictions. But another one where it kind of somewhat of a somber note. We found out the news yesterday of the passing of just a legend, just a legend of this of football and ambassador of the sport. John
mm,
Madden. John Madden yesterday passed away at the age of 85. Now, they just did a Fox documentary, All Madden, on Christmas Day, but to kind
Mm-hmm.
of go over, as far as what John Madden has done. Obviously, he was a former, at the time, Oakland Raiders head coach for 10 years. He won the Super Bowl with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Broadcasting from 1979 to up until I think 2009, technically. He
Mm-hmm.
had a stint with obviously with CBS from 79 to 93,
Mm-hmm.
Fox from 94 to 2001, ABC from 2002 to 2005, NBC. The last pit stop was from '06 to '08, but he did do the Super Bowl on February 1st of 2009, which was officially his last um, last broadcasting call.
Mm-hmm.
Just I think he had 16 Emmy nominations. Actually, in the Hall of Fame twice.
Wow.
2002, he was a part of the Pete Rozelle Radio Television Award in 2002, and then ended up being inducted in Canton in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and like you said earlier, he passed away yesterday. So Mal, what's your thoughts on Madden and just his impact? Your thoughts about Madden?
Well, okay. When I think of John Madden, man, at first, I didn't know much about him. I did hear that he had coached the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I was talking to a few people, and they said when they think of him, they do think of Raider Nation, like pure Raider Nation. But they also said that they thought that he was funny. So he brought an entertainment um, element to the NFL. You know what I mean? And made it homely and made it very humble, made it even though he was a celebrity, he seemed like somebody that you can kind of like talk to, approach. He seemed very real. Like it was funny, man, because I heard him talk about I think he a turducken, right?
Yeah,
And he was
yeah.
trying to right, and he was explaining it, and I was like, oh, that's a Red Fox joke when he talk about Ripple. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He said I like to drink Cripple, which is cream and Ripple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
you took that element, and then and I'm a really throw it to you because I know from a sports standpoint you know more. Um, I feel like he's an icon for me. There's a lot of icons in my life, like Johnny Carson, uh um Donnie Simpson from Video Soul.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Legendary.
Like to sit
Hmm.
like Arsenio Hall to sit on that couch and have him talk to you. I
Yeah.
felt like when I watched Randy Moss talk and to hear um, Madden speak to him, I felt like that was part of his goals or his dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To hear John Madden say his name at a Thanksgiving game. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I put him there, and then I look at him as he's an innovator because he was able to revolutionize um, gaming. So he took the NFL and introduced the sport to a whole nother generation that might not even um, thought of the NFL. I heard McPhee speak today, and he was saying he wasn't a gamer. So he said he told a story about him playing the game with his brother, and his brother was very good at video games. And he
Hmm.
said, "I'm kind of pissed off." He said because if I'd have knew after watching that documentary, if I'd have knew all this information, I definitely would have probably. He said literally that video game he played with his brother probably would have made him a better NFL player. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
And then um it's weird because I feel like once he sold the rights to EA Sports, I think that game changed a lot. Because you
Yeah.
remember this? Remember, I always say this when I watch NFL now. Why aren't you kicking the field goal? Why aren't you
Hmm.
punting? And I say,
Yeah.
I would be like, man, they're playing Madden, right? But they're not playing Madden. They're playing EA Sports football because when I played Madden back in the day and did that, John Madden would say, why is he doing that?
Yep.
He should be punting the ball. You know what I mean? So he definitely was trying to teach you how to genuinely play football because he has one of the most brilliant football minds. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Hmm.
to the point now, man. Like he you can't even say like when you say iconic names, you got to say him, especially when
Yeah.
it come to video games, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That video game. saved so many lives and kept so many people out of trouble. I don't even think people understand that.
Yeah.
Think about how many dudes you know with troublemakers, and they get that one. People that would be enemies end up playing Madden, end up becoming best friends.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's. I don't think, and it wasn't like that before. A lot of games, it was Madden. When everybody understand it, it was Madden
Yeah.
that saved a lot of lives, changed a lot of lives. Gang bangers, dudes that so I'm serious, man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
kept them
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
trouble. And kept them out of trouble. You know what I mean? So, I'm gonna throw it to you because I know you got a lot
Yeah.
more. But you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, John Madden.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I find, even though now I'll get to the part of like with Madden, 'cause I know I really kind of didn't put that
Right,
in the intro, but we'll I
right.
discuss that as well. What I
Mm-hmm.
found interesting is the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and what's so crazy because I actually watched the documentary yesterday.
Mm.
Because I recorded it. Because I
Right.
knew because Christmas I was actually going to a relative's house, so I knew in transit I was gonna miss it, so I was gonna DVR it. And watching it now is like and it's crazy because I know Fox advertised it, you know, since the beginning of the season, and and you just think honestly, he was 85. I'm like, I just hope he's able to be able to watch this,
Mm-hmm.
and and so the fact of seeing that, I think you got to really think to yourself, there was a reason why this documentary was made. It was perfectly timed because it let him know that he got his
Yeah.
flowers on earth. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I look at, and I hate to kind of compare the two, but I look at like the situation like with LeBron James when he broke Kobe's record. Like, he can find solace in the fact that he gave him flowers and Kobe actually knew it. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
the day after his passing, but in
Mm-hmm.
theory, he knew that LeBron knew, Kobe knew what LeBron meant to him, so he gave him his
Mm-hmm.
flowers then. So I always look at
Mm-hmm.
those type of situations where, even though we look at the timing of it, but it was just right. He knew, he was able to kind of lead this earth knowing that, hey, my impact, I can see it. It's a tangible. I can see the impacts, but my peers, people,
Right.
my former players, I mean, my his at the time, his bosses, his people from Fox,
Mm-hmm.
CBS, all of them, players that he covered, everything, just about anybody in every level, and I think what's the beauty of John Madden too, that documentary, it shows you how many people he touched in so many different generations.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like with me being a millennial, I don't remember obviously with the Oakland Raiders coaching
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Right.
I really don't remember the CBS him, but I really remember obviously the Fox, then going to Monday Night Football, and then going to Sunday
Mm-hmm.
Night Football. So I knew him more so of like how I got a tail of him and Pat Summerall, but
Mm-hmm.
I was able to experience that his broadcast exploits on the primetime games, which that's another thing too, where those were events. I don't think people fail to realize, like, even though I think about it now, where you know I didn't think of it then in theory, but I always used to watch every Monday Night Football game,
Mm-hmm.
regardless who was playing, and also Sunday Night Football game when he went to NBC. So you just
Mm-hmm.
look at how great he is as far as a broadcaster, and he made it fun. He made it to a point where you wanted
Right.
to sit down and watch the game. He had perfect timing, comedic timing, and then like the
Mm-hmm.
telestrator, because now it's so crazy. Like we talk about Mike Fratello as a czar, the telestrator.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Fratello is the remix. John Madden is Godfather of the telestrator. I don't care what no one
Mm-hmm.
says. So you look at that. I don't know if people remember Mike Fratello, but shout out to Mike Fratello. But remember the former Cavs coach and the Hawks
Yeah, I
coach,
know exactly who
and then
he is.
yeah,
I know
so
exactly.
they used to call him that.
Right.
So you look at that, and you just look at, and then just the frames, like what he would say, like boom, and then even
Mm-hmm.
just like him being such a pitchman for so many companies, where one of the most when it comes to brands and it comes to slogans and stuff, you can't beat tough acting to acting.
Mhm.
Like you always remember that. So I don't like. I'm telling you, you can literally go to any store. You can go to a grocery store or a drugstore, or pharmacy, or whatever. You see Tenactin, what you think of? Tough acting Tenactin.
Right.
You can't
You
you
crazy,
can't
dude.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then obviously with the broadcasting, then also with the game, which I kind of like I said, I kind of missed that part in the intro. But the game, like you said, it makes it fun. It makes it enjoyable. Like you say, even the OG games, like when you had Pat Summerall and Madden calling those games, and
Mhm.
we had it good. I don't that's one thing too. Now looking back at that type of situation, we
Mhm.
had it good. Like when they were
Mhm.
calling the games and how just that sporty, how that game evolves, like to a point where I mean, Madden is like the game itself was like an institute. It was like a tradition. Like we would, I think even up until my early 30s, I would still go to GameStop at midnight for
Right.
the
Get the game.
release.
Right.
And that used to be by far the highlight of my summer. Now, just imagine
Two.
you're a 20.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. No. No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
with you.
just imagine you're a
Uh huh.
20-year-old,
Right.
handsome man, and your favorite event of the summer. We talk about sundress season, hot girl
Right.
summer, Madden release. That
Right.
that's all I
It's
cared about
two
all summer.
things we have to say from our generation. It's two
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple of them after, but the two classic things is is waking up to get them Jordans and
Mm-hmm.
getting that Madden. Yeah, it's
Yep.
2K now and some other stuff, but it's
Yeah.
damn sure them Jordans and it's that Madden, B. I'm
Yep.
telling you, man. I
Yeah.
don't think
And
people understand that damn game brings so many people together, man.
yeah. 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 It is. It's like you said, Madden is just, and like you said, and like I talked about it last night. I tweeted out last night. His impact spans generations. You got,
Hmm.
you think about it. One generation looks at him as a former head coach. One
Right,
see him as a broadcaster, and
right.
some just see him as just he's the face of the NFL game that is
You
Madden
know,
that has his name on it. So,
right.
mhm.
We're not calling games, but I do believe he is one of the reasons why we're sitting here having a conversation that we're having. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And be
yeah,
able to express ourselves the way we're expressing it because he had, I don't hear anything too much negative about him. Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm
not at
saying?
all.
Like from all. So one of the things I saw today, I watched his greatest moments, and they show
Hmm.
a clip of him talking about the defensive coordinator, Bill Belichick, and he was saying how when you do plays, you had to learn how to draw up plays holding the clipboard upside down
Yeah,
so they could see it. And he said, "Man, this guy's 38 years old, and they're already saying that he's going to be a head coach." So then I watched Bill Belichick said Bill Belichick he said he was so unique with his recruiting when it
yep,
comes to his coaching. He said because he was one of the ones that actually would go to the HCBU to the black colleges and recruit there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And he
hmm,
was like he was one of the first ones, and once his recruiting process was real well. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Man.
And yeah, and you just look at just and from a broadcast standpoint, because what's funny is when I was coming up, because I really started loving sports maybe like about 94, 95. So I was
Hmm.
like 10 or 11 years old. So I loved basketball because it was simple. Because you think
Right.
about it, it's simple. All you got to do
Hmm.
is, hey, you shoot the basket, you get 2 points or 3 points. You dribble,
Hmm.
you rebound. It's simple. But as I became probably more so like maybe about teenage, that's when I started loving football. Football was kind of, I used to think it was really complex. Like I don't understand it. He was one of the ones that you look at. He made it fun because football is complicated. Let's keep
Hmm.
let's keep it a buck, especially
Yeah.
for like a teenager. Just the
Hmm.
complexity of football itself is really to grasp certain concepts. But you just look
Hmm.
at it like here, where I'm not saying I'm just gonna be a couch coach take, but I can read defenses like because
Right. Right.
because of John Madden,
Done
like
Madden. Right.
straight up, like
Right.
I try to lay off my mantra, but I know how to, I know
Right.
what to look for, especially like I like
Right.
still play man to this day, and I like, okay, so I know how to read defenses. I know, okay, that safety jumping over there. All right, attack my guy, run it
Right.
out because I know the safety deep. And guess what? I'm gonna have that safety on a cloud of dust
Right. I'm
because I know
telling
how
you.
to read that defense to the T.
Right. That's science. And the deeper they got with that game, there's a lot of dudes that never played football, but they have a knack of actually putting plays together.
Yep.
Um, and playing that Madden game and that
Yep.
science of that Madden game that they got jobs in the NFL or coaching some football
Yep.
team. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Their only issue is, but that'll come, but they really do have a football mind. They not in like a natural science mind pertaining to football. And that's why I said it was so important. Like, because you got to understand the game before that was sports talk, John Madden sports talk.
Yeah.
He throws the ball to Jerry Rice. Like, it was horrible. It was horrible. And then before that, the classic Super Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Bowl. No, my bad. Before Tecmo Bowl,
Yeah.
it
It
was
was.
first and 10.
Yep.
Wow, it
I
was
remember. Yeah.
horrible. That was my
Yep.
game, though. I ain't gonna front.
But
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But
Yeah. And like you
yeah,
said,
man.
and I just found it so amazing. Like he had guys, obviously, and then and the funny thing too, and I sit down and think about like even his coaching days, who he coached, and guys who he's had, who now have impacts. Even one like Gene Upshaw.
Mm-hmm.
Also another one, rest in peace, Gene Upshaw. But I look
Mm-hmm.
at him as a pioneer figure because he's now what Demore Smith is, the leader of the play association. He's
Mm-hmm.
and shout like I think like me and JP always champion a guy like him because everybody used to hate Gene Upshaw, but I'm like he's kind of the reason why guys are getting paid the way they are current day. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's levels to it. He was one of the ones that I think did a great job when it comes representing to the players. You look at like Art Shell, what he's done in the coaching world. I think he's the first ever African American coach to coach the coach the Raiders. I think, and then
Okay.
like Fred Belivikov, which that's the wide receiver and the best collegiate wide receiver. Gets that Frank Vanilla. I keep on butchering his name.
You good?
Bolitnikov.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you look at those type of players he's coached, and just the impact that he's had just in general. Like it's just it spans generations. And I think, and I always tell people, if you haven't seen All Madden, do yourself a
Yeah, I'm
favor.
watching.
I
Yeah.
record on the DVR. I'm telling you, I will never ever delete that.
Right.
Comcast
I
gonna have
I
to
didn't even know.
lock me up and throw away the key if you don't give me a copy of that All Madden if I have a Switch.
I'm upset because I didn't even know, man. Usually I know about stuff like that. That's my lane.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and I'm shocked because they've been advertising it
right,
since
yeah.
week one, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to Christmas. I can't not wait because I was like, I knew it was gonna be a certified what the folks call a certified banger.
Right. And I loved how they did it. They should really take that show and make that like a series. I seen a clip of it when Lawrence Taylor was talking. And
Yep.
to have and, it's funny because to me, that's how they shot the Colin Kaepernick movie, where he would sit there, he was talking, well, but he sat there and he would look in his past. And I
Yeah.
think they should do it. A lot of people they should give their flowers to. They should do
Yep.
exactly the same way, and that would be perfect because
Yeah. It was
I know
perfect.
that should touch. I know that should touch his soul, man. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Oh yeah. And then just the generations. I think even a guy like Lamar Jackson, who's with 24, 25, and he
Hmm.
always said his aspiration was they make it pro and then being Madden. And you even look
Hmm.
at now where guys are they take their Madden
Yeah.
their Madden rating serious to the heart. Like,
Hmm.
yo, I remember when they put Justin Herbert at 80, you would have literally thought the LA Chargers, everybody was like going off. Like it was, I remember when they had him at 80, you had
Hmm.
guys, I think it was like Keenan Allen, Derwin James, a couple guys from the Chargers, and they like, what? Like, you got my boy at
Right.
80? But Justin
You remember
Herbert,
that?
cool. It's like,
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, Justin Herbert was cool with it. He's like, hey, I just gotta be better. Was
Right.
like,
You remember that commercial that I think it was a receiver for the Green Bay Packers, and he was talking to EA Sports guy or something like that, and he was like, "Hey man, why is my ratings um 5 points lower than what it was last year?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, yes, you done lost a step or two, like or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like that." He
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"What? What you
Right.
mean?" Like, you know what I mean? But
But
yeah, man.
yeah, yeah, man. It's just like you said, like I talked about it yesterday in the tweet, man. We definitely lost a legend yesterday, big time. We lost
Yeah,
an iconic figure that's, even though he's been around for 85 years, but the mark he left is gonna outlive him. We're gonna be talking
right.
about Madden 85 years from now,
He
so it's gonna
he has
outlive.
not he has not flown in a plane since I think they said
It's me.
1979,
Yeah, that's wild.
right? But the
Yeah.
crazy thing is, so they got this bus, and they said that, and
Yes.
to me, it makes so much sense about that bus because it remind me of the Madden bus where they used to play Madden
Yep.
on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the crazy thing about that is that his wife had, um, she had her license to fly, like she could fly an airplane.
Ain't that something? Right.
Ain't that crazy? He's like,
Wow.
no,
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I do not. I don't blame him. If you get the access like that, I would do the same thing, honestly.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
but yeah, and plus, he had time. Most of us ain't got time like that. You feel me?
Right. I mean,
But
hey,
yeah,
it is
yeah,
what
I
it
mean,
is.
love it. And shout out, and that's another thing too, where you just look at even the bus driver, the guy who is in this documentary. I feel like it's so
Word.
fascinating. That's why, like I tell people, please watch this. If you are a
Want to be.
football guy,
You
if you
go.
love
Damn.
football, if you love football, man, you gotta watch this. It's amazing. Like I said, it will forever be in my DVR. Um,
Right.
Comcast. If I ever leave Comcast, let me buy it.
He's supposed to.
That's how
A
I
guy.
feel.
They were
Right,
complaining today about a lot of younger generation don't know about his coaching, and I'm
yeah,
like, a lot of older guys or whatever, and I was like, well, that's y'all fault.
right.
Y'all should be. That's the only way we gonna know if y'all put it out there. Want to
Well,
hear that?
or guess what? You got this. This will tell you
Right.
anything. This will tell you
Right.
anything. You can go look at clips. You can look at documentaries. You can look
Right.
at America's game the year that they won the Super Bowl. No, you ain't got to go to the library and go to an encyclopedia and go through an index file and look for stuff.
Right.
You got this.
Right. Right.
You got this. You ain't got
Right.
to look up. Oh, where's B45625? Oh, that's right here to the left of the library. And you ain't got the index card system no more. You good. You got the
Right.
internet. You're lucky.
I'm like, wait, I'm a little tight, man, that I didn't know about it, but I'm gonna watch it though.
No,
I'm gonna
I mean,
watch
you
it.
talking about like you said, the generation didn't know, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's internet for that. But yeah,
Right,
definitely,
right. Right,
yeah, yep, they can figure it out. Trust me. But yeah,
right.
man, I'm actually on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get on the sticks today. I might get on the sticks
Real?
today.
I
And
was looking at
plus,
him talk about what turkey has 6 legs. Oh my god, what you got,
turkey
bro?
leg.
What,
Oh, 22, boy. 22.
oh, you got it?
Oh yeah, you know me. Oh, I got 22. Yeah, I got man 22. Yes,
What
sir.
man,
Get on the sticks
I'm
with that. Get on the sticks with that tonight, probably.
so I know you from a generation. You an Xbox guy.
All right now. Yep. I'm gonna get the next one. Get the next generation one. I thought about
Okay.
getting a PlayStation 5, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna stick with my Xbox.
Look, it's so silly, man. He's like, hold up now, hey, don't start that.
It's a war between Xbox and PlayStation.
I'm gonna probably get one of them virtual reality ones and be one of them
Yeah.
idiots punching a wall.
But yeah, it was that was legendary. Yeah, what he's done is just legendary, and we really honestly we just scratched the surface, and that's the thing where you got a guy that's done so much. It's like we can
Hmm.
literally be here for hours and talk about his impact, but like we said, man, we lost a legend yesterday, and it's one of the things where God, just you think about this year 2021, all every icons that we lost this year too. So
Hmm.
this adds on to it. As far as
Right.
to put a bow on this year. It's just it's it's one of the things. Hey, but shout out to Mad man. We definitely
Right.
gonna get on the sticks and
That's crazy, man. I was sitting here thinking about that game. Like, I would really love to be for him to know, like, they had instant replay.
yeah,
None of games didn't they had you can huddle, you could spin, you could do all these different things that you don't. It was like I remember we was playing. It was like, yo, you could do all this stuff. You could, you know what I
yep,
mean? Because you couldn't do that with the other games. You could,
yep.
I was was, and then when you got
Oh,
hurt, you know what happened? When you got
yeah.
hurt,
The old one's ambulance.
the ambulance come
Ambulance.
over
I
real
used to,
bad, man.
yeah, ambulance come on the field, and that's funny. And that's the thing. That's the thing with man. It's just it's so many memories. Even though most of it's like video games. So I'm gonna get this. This one final thing. So
Okay.
and we did, and it's funny because we did a video game episode one time, and I always say like I always create a player on my end. So I
Hmm.
create my player. So this time, this might have been Madden, maybe 99. Because matter of fact, Plaxico Burris was a rookie. So I think they had to be like about 98, 99-ish, right around that time. So
Hmm.
I was backing up Cordell Stewart. I played for the Steelers, right? So I said, I'm going to be the backup. Cordell gets hurt. Yeah, Cordell gets hurt. Ambulance
Hmm.
come and get him, and then boom, I come in number 13 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, quarterback slinging that thing. So it's just like, they came and got Cordell in the ambulance, and I remember that I was like, "Oh damn, big
What
homie."
was
Well,
you
I didn't say
doing?
big homie, but I was like probably like 10, like 13 years old. But
Yeah, what
yeah,
was you doing? Slinging what?
playing the football. Bing, bing, bing. Because matter of fact, because Plax was a rookie, and I used to hit
Uh-huh.
Plax. Oh my gosh, like Plax was like a game breaker. Like if all I had to really do, I think I forgot what formation I had. It was like
Ooh,
four
boy, you
verticals.
funny.
I did four verticals to death, and I think that's before that was after Madden criticized you because he probably like, why in the hell is he throwing four verticals like 9 times in a
Right,
row?
right. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah,
was so right.
I used to
He
have.
was
I
so
used
right.
to. And it's funny. I used to do four verticals, so I had four receivers out. And Plax, I don't know for some odd reason, Plax was always open, and it's like it's
Hmm.
almost like I knew, like Plax was like such a like, and it's like how he was in real life, because all you had to do
Right,
was throw it up to Plax at that time, and it was game time. It was
right.
when what the young kids call now demon time.
What? That's different. The fucking
Football wise, come on now,
Oh,
knock it
okay.
off. But but yeah, it was legit. But yeah, man. Well, yeah, that
Yeah, man.
was. But
You know,
yeah,
man,
definitely.
it's
Mhm.
sad that he left, but he was older and I'm happy. I hope that it was peaceful. He's
Yeah,
with the same woman for a long time, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And if there ever was a person that had his best life, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
And then that wedding anniversary
Was last week.
was
Last week.
Sunday, the
Yeah, yeah,
26th.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
boy, oh
But I'm
boy.
sure it looked like, man, they not telling us, but it's probably something that they knew was coming. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's something they knew was coming and that, it
Yeah.
was just the right time.
Yeah, man. Yep. And they knew. And like you said, well, I don't think they knew, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what I
That's
mean.
why
You know what I mean.
and that's the thing too, where I kept on was like, oh please, like just make sure he able to see it. That was my biggest
Hmm.
thing, was I wanted him to at least see it, because that's major. A lot of people don't get their flowers while they're still living, you know. Especially if a guy of
Hmm.
his stature. Most time we get to a point where we'll say stuff, you know, after the fact versus,
Right.
him being able to, to hear, in his impact. So
Hmm.
yeah, that was a good thing, kind of a good thing to, let you know that you appreciate it, and then just the different types of generations. Like, I mean, everybody, boomers, Generation X, millennials,
Right.
what this get that was Gen Z, like 96 to 2000, whatever they Gen Z. I forgot what it is, but whoever's after the millennials is Gen Z, I think.
I just know, millennials.
Well, you almost at that. Well, you didn't make the cut. I think you Generation X.
Yeah,
Yeah, you almost made the cut. You about a couple years from the cut. But yeah,
right, right, right.
he was on the verge of it. But yeah, yeah, man, definitely huge shout out to the greatest football
Yeah,
man
man.
of all time, John Madden.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know, but
And
hey,
trying to get at the Bill Belichick, but no, it's John Madden, baby.
yeah,
John
yeah.
Madden. Look, it
So
was so
yeah,
funny. Before we move on, I was
yeah,
watching Bill Belichick, right? And he was talking. He
hmm
said, what I mean, I wanted to John. He was really good, but I was just sitting there like,
right,
why is he don't have to talk that way? We saw you on NFL Network talking
right.
to Ed Reed and everybody. I was like, yo, this dude do got a personality.
Yeah,
Like,
he got a
he just
voice,
wanted
right?
to damn every time. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
man. Sound worse than Shaq.
so complex. A very misunderstood man in Bill Belichick.
Right.
But but yeah. So